Next thing is that we talked, I think, 2 weeks ago, using Twitch to train Amazon AI, and there's been a lot of talk on X all about it, and streamers fighting back against it in the last few weeks. They even created a tag. It complains so much that Twitch created an opt-out button now in your settings that you could go and opt out of it, and streamers were creating like a tag to search for people that I think it was hashtag opted out or something. We could follow other streamers that were opting out of it. Definitely a lot of backlash that Twitch is receiving from this. And backlash was so bad that on the Dan Clancy podcast, he sent in like the head of PR instead of himself to go.
Yeah. Boomer grounds. Yeah, we back on the way. Two boomers in the lobby still making plays. From the shop to the tavern, we don't behave. Talk matter, talk life, talk common, rank grade. Boomer grounds. Turn it up, press play. Old school feel with the new school sway. Every week, new heat, let it run, don't fade. If you came for the vibes, you in the right place. Yeah, welcome to the pop, pull a chair to the table. BPM low, but the read still fatal. Boomer brain, but the line stay stable. Hit them with the level ups, label it a fable. Cue up, we discussing every patch, every tweak. Broken comps, bad beats, every high roll streak. From the goldens in the shop to the throws on a misplay. Clip it for the chat, that's a boomer kind of replay. Late night grind, but the jokes stay timeless. Talk real life, little tilt, little kindness. From the YouTube feed to the Twitch chat sounds. If you know, then you know this is Boomer Grounds.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Boomer Grounds podcast. It is me with my lovely co-host Howard Moon here tonight. A few things on the docket include a lot about YouTube and Twitch and AI and all that sort of jazz. But first, let's get caught up. Howard Moon, how have you been, and what has been going on in your world in this last week since we last saw you?
Not a whole ton going on. I had car trouble today, which was a pain in the ass, but I'm not going to rage about that. It's just, I had a lot of car trouble today, and roughly $755 later, my car is operational again, and I'm poor. So donations will be acceptable at the Howard Moon Car Fund, which doesn't exist, but may someday at this point. But what I did do this past week, I did an IRL stream for like the first time ever.
Nice.
I was at a beer festival with my wife, and I had a couple of samples of beer and said, I'm going to go live and see what happens. And people came and talked to me. So I was like, okay. So it was different. I had a couple of people say, hey, are you going to do more IRL? No, there's no chance that I'm becoming an IRL streamer. There's chances that it'll happen on a rare occasion, but there's no chance I'm going to become an IRL streamer. But that's pretty much it. What about you? What's going on your side of the world?
Well, this weekend was the start of the Arena Direct for The Hobbit for Magic.
Okay.
And it did not go well for me. Let's just say I spent more than your car repairs this weekend.
Wow.
And ended up with 0 boxes. It was a giant shit show. The format is actually not very good. Literally everyone on Twitter is complaining about the format. It's a smaller set, so people can get like more overpowered card pools. All the card pools are a lot of the strongest cards are all in like 2 colors. So it's really like, let's just see who opens the best black-red deck.
Yeah.
And
too much RNG.
I think like we're taking a look at like the leaderboard for like people that won boxes, and like 70% of the people were playing black-red. So it was not good. There was not as much skill as there normally is in these things, and it was just ugly. And I was just on like the constant wrong side of the variance, and it was just very, very frustrating. And then after a while, after I'm on like my 4th credit card charge, I'm just like, okay, yeah, this is enough. I'll just take the loss. We'll move on, and we'll live about it another day. So that was most of my weekend.
It's funny you mention that because it's a Hobbit set, which just clicked in my head. There was a Lord of the Rings TCG, I think in the early 2000s, roughly 25 years ago, by the same people who made the Star Trek game that I played.
Yeah.
So for a brief period of time, we were trying to get into that. and we found right away.
It was bad.
It was bad. You had to play basically a light versus dark kind of thing. Like I played during your turn, I was playing Forces of Mordor to try and stop you. During my turn, you were playing Forces of Mordor to stop me. Hobbits plus Nazgul equaled your opponent's dead. So within like less than 6 months of the game coming out, everyone's playing Hobbits and Nazgul. That's it. And there was no variance to the game. You played Hobbits and Nazgul, or you lost all your games and went home set. That was every event we ever went to. It was Hobbits and Nazgul. I'm like, this is not fun. I don't want to play a game where I have to play one specific build every single time to have a chance. And it sounds like if you didn't get black and red, you weren't competing, and that's the kind of thing I hate.
It was definitely very frustrating, but it is what it is. I took out a few things from that I had kicking around of old Magic stuff. I put them onto some Facebook groups to get some interest, and definitely have gotten a lot of interest on them. So I might be selling off the last little remnants of my like Magic memorabilia. They're not actually cards, but it's more just like things like play mats and stuff. So I'm looking to do that to help pay for my my expenses on the weekend. I was like, shit, the wife is gonna be really upset when she sees this credit card bill come in, especially if I don't have prize winnings to help cover it eventually. So I was like, oh shit, okay, let's see, what do I got? Okay, time to sell some of the stuff. Now is a good time to start selling some of these things. Mm-hmm. But like one of them was like a playmat from like the 1998 World Championships that has like a bunch of signatures on it for like participants, and supposedly it's actually more valuable without the signatures because the playmats are very popular in the Yu-Gi-Oh world, and they don't give a shit about former Magic players. So yeah, they prefer without. So that playmat's worth like $4,000 or something.
Really?
Yeah. So I have a couple more somewhere around the house, which I wish I could find. I know for sure I have one from 97, and the 97 one's worth like $12K or something. And like I have no idea where it is in the house. I was like looking for it once. I was like, I have no clue. I don't think I've seen that. I know I have it stored somewhere, but I don't think I've seen it since like I moved here, which was like 8 or 10 years ago. So it's in a box somewhere. One day I'll be like, surprise, you found 12 grand.
On the other side of this wall is Howard's long-term storage. I have the same thing. There's a closet there. It's long-term storage. And my wife will be like, didn't you have? And I'll be like, yes. And it's somewhere in the closet. It's in a box. I ain't finding it. So.
Yeah. So I need to go eventually look for that again because, 12 grand's a lot of my search. 12
grand is a lot.
Yeah. Like I'll pay a lot of bills,
For a playmat.
Yeah. They're really popular.
That's crazy, man. Crazy.
Yeah. It is insane. So my wife's like, are you going to be sad they're selling? I'm like, this literally been sitting in a drawer beside me for 20 years. I don't give a shit about this random thing sitting in a drawer. It has no real sentimental value to me. Yeah. So that's pretty much what I've been doing. I went like scrummaging through my storage room to find some of the other stuff, but I couldn't find that playmat. I don't know. I know for sure I have one or two somewhere else. I think I sold some of them for like when they first came out for like $50 each. Like, oh, we'll give you $50 for your playmat. I'm like, yeah, sure, take it. I'm not gonna do anything with it. Now I'm like, God damn it, why didn't I hold on to this playmat? But
I sold off all my valuable Magic cards ages ago, and by valuable I mean like anything that was worth $10 or more.
Yeah.
So I had a few that got up into the hundreds, but nothing like what you probably have. So.
I mean, I don't have anything left in the way of cards. I found a binder with some cards. I'm like, I wonder if these are worth anything. I look them up. They're all like $3. I'm like, okay, it's not even worth my time.
Yeah.
But that's about it. Let's get on to some of the topics of the week. And I wish I didn't accidentally close that window. But
please tell me everyone's behaved this week. I don't want to talk about streamer drama this week.
No real streamer drama.
Thank God.
I mean, there's lots of other things to enrage you, but
Good. Well, you know what? While you're looking that up, let me toss one topic out really quick, and I should have put it up there. Today, Warren Spector, who, if you've followed game development for a long time, announced his retirement again. And if you don't know who Warren Spector is, he was one of the guys who started the Wing Commander series. He did a bunch. He was the producer and director on a bunch of the Ultima games and the Ultima spin-offs. And he was the lead producer on Deus Ex. So he's worked with a lot of really big PC games. And before that, he was in the tabletop realm. And if you know the tabletop realm, you probably know the name Steve Jackson Games. They're the guys who invented Munchkin.
Yeah.
He worked for them for years. And he finally said at 70 years old, I am retiring. So nice. A happy retirement to Warren Spector. The gaming world is way better for his efforts.
All right. First major piece of news. YouTube is changing the qualifications you need to become monetized, and all the requirements pretty much doubled. With your 1,000 subscribers that you need, now you need 8,000 qualified public watch hours, or 20 in the last year, 8,000 watch hours in the last year for long form, or 20 million qualified shorts views in the last.
And those are double. Days. That's double from
used to be 4,000 and 10 million shorts views. Fucking 10 million shorts views just to get to monetization seems insane.
That feels really hard. Like, is long form that struggling that it's people are like, oh well, you know what? It's easier for me to get 10 million views than 4,000 hours. I mean, that's weird to me.
Yeah, but it's 8,000 hours now and 10 million views. I mean, long form has always struggled, right? Like, and short form doesn't really pay as much. I think they want to push more people to stay on long form because supposedly short form does not, like, million view on short form is not worth very much money.
Makes sense.
So yeah,
makes sense. I have recently been trying to set up my stream to do both, to do Twitch and YouTube just to see what happened. And I guess I'm not going to do that now because why would I want to go there? People have been saying to me, and when I put out this idea, people were like, why don't you just do Twitch and Kick or Twitch and TikTok? Or if you really want to stay with Twitch and just expand, why are you going to YouTube? I was like, well, YouTube seems to be the place that a lot of people go when they want to explore monetization. But now it sounds like they're like, no, we want to just invest more in our existing creators than foster new ones. I mean, that's how I take this.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of discouraging because like this channel is not even close to being monetized. It's been like a year and a half almost now, like a year and a bit. It's a lot of hours to get watched. I mean, you definitely have to kind of take off before you can get monetized. Like 8,000 hours for a long form. I guess maybe if you just have like each video gets watched for an hour, 8,000 watch hours isn't that bad, but like still seems like a lot. I don't know. We're nowhere near. So here, I can even check what our numbers are.
We're gonna do it live.
We'll do it live. I'll check what it is, but I don't think we're even remotely close on Boomer Grounds this game. So Boomer Grounds, we have 36 subscribers.
So we're getting there. We're like 1% of the way there.
1%. We have watch hours. We have it says last 28 days are 27 watch hours.
Okay.
Let's see if I can switch it. Let's see if I can switch it to more. There you go. Last 365 days. We have total watch hours, 184 watch hours in the last 365 days. I think a lot of that's me. So I definitely like crank it open on multiple accounts to get those views. That's just
so wait a minute. Though. If I open it up on my computer and I just set it up to constantly refresh, like I set up a macro that refreshes like a second after it ends every single time. Does that count as a fresh view?
Yeah, we'll get to that as well. But yeah, I think it counts.
Oh, okay, that's changing too. Okay, because this computer does nothing while I'm at work. I'll set up a macro and just have it chunk out views all day long.
All right, so besides this, oh, maybe I can't do this thing twice. So they're changing how long form views are now. Oh, actually, this is different. How long form views are being counted, and
Oh,
that
some
once
more
you
changes.
yeah, so once you kind of like mouse over, how sometimes if you're on YouTube and you just kind of mouse
Mm-hmm.
over the video and starts, that will immediately count as a view as long as the first frame is viewed. It'll it'll count as a view now. Yeah,
That kind of,
it's
yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
it's going to definitely inflate the view count hours or the number of views, and kind of drive down the like the watch time metrics and stuff. Like I think they added an additional stat called engaged views, which are actually people that watch for extended periods. But this is supposed to count as like how many impressions you make on people that just like see your video overall. So I guess it's a
But
little bit better.
by okay, I'm assuming when I open YouTube on my TV or on my phone, it
Yeah,
immediately shows me somebody I subscribe to under
yeah.
like that top list. So all this does is give more views to people who already have a lot of views.
No, it could be anyone, or it's people that do promotions and stuff. You'll count them as views. Essentially, if you like, when you scroll down and when you just mouse over someone, the
Mm-hmm.
video kind of automatically starts, and when it automatically starts, it counts it as a view of that video.
Right,
So
but when I open my YouTube and that first video auto starts, that very first corner, it's
yeah,
almost always somebody I subscribe to
yeah,
because my for you comes up first.
yeah,
So it's somebody I'm already watching anyway, getting a view. It kind of feels like it's just another shot at the discoverability. You know what I mean? I mean,
yeah,
I just eh
yeah. So
eh.
it works the same way that shorts work, and that like as long as you just kind of see the short starts, it counts as a
Right.
view. So they're trying to make it more static on how they was considered a view across long and short form videos.
Okay.
Right, so it's a little more consistent between the two models as opposed to one counting just on immediately and the other one forcing you to click into the video and actually have the view.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. Next thing is that we talked, I think, 2 weeks ago about Twitch using AI to train the Amazon, using Twitch to train Amazon AI.
Yep.
And there's been a lot of talk on X all about it and streamers fighting back against it in the last few weeks. They even created a tag. They complain so much that Twitch created an opt out button now in
Mm-hmm.
your settings that you can go and opt out of it. And streamers were creating like a tag to search for people that like, I think it was hashtag opted out or something, or
Mm-hmm.
AI opt out. So people they could follow other streamers that were opting out of it. Yeah, definitely a lot of backlash that Twitch is receiving from this. And the backlash was so bad that on the Dan Clancy podcast, he sent in like the head of PR instead of himself to go and address it.
Really?
I remember
Wow.
I was watching Zach Bussey's stream. He does a lot of reporting on what's going on in the industry, and I steal a lot of stuff from him. And he's like, okay, let's go see the Dan Clancy podcast. And he's like, oh, it's Mary Kish today instead of Dan Clancy coming on his podcast.
I
And,
wonder why.
yeah, and she took all the heat about it because yeah, everyone is infuriated about it. I mean, I think they also changed their TOS saying that they're allowed to use your content to train AI or something along those lines. I remember seeing something briefly about it, but yeah, I mean, everyone just up in arms. Like this is inevitable. I think for Twitch to be viable, Amazon needs a way for them to be worthwhile, for them to keep operating at a loss every year. And I think using it as a source of revenue or like a source of because data, I don't fuck what the word is, just like to get all your data and to not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily steal. So as like a learning tool for its AI is probably worth it for them to keep funding Twitch. But yeah, they were
Yeah, I
not
mean,
happy.
I agree. I think they didn't buy Amazon didn't buy Twitch because Twitch was going to be immediately profitable. Amazon bought Twitch because they saw this as an easier way of having a live streaming platform than immediately going to like some sort of Prime Live kind of setup, which now they seem to be doing. I saw a commercial the other day where you could watch a live shopping channel, and I immediately thought of you because I was like, are they trying to steal Whatnot's thunder? Is that what's
Probably.
going on here? Um, so I saw that and I was like, okay, that's the reason they brought it, is because they wanted to have Amazon, they wanted to have Thursday Night Football on a streaming platform that was separate from their subscription platform. They wanted to have an ability to do some marketing through streaming network and stuff like that. They didn't buy Twitch because they knew it was going to make $1 million the first year. You know, that's not, so there's definitely, they definitely want this. There's motivations other than strict profit, as there's growth and there's support for its other brands, I think, built into their model of purchasing and maintaining Twitch. So I don't know what their long-term plan is, but this definitely seems like a good use of a product you already have. I don't necessarily like it. I'll be the first one to admit I use AI every day. I had 3 people send me the instructions on how to opt out of the stream, out of the AI, the day that they started talking about it. And I'm looking at my stream manager now, or my settings, and I didn't do it. So I got to go back and do that at some point. But yeah, it's inevitable. These things are going to happen. AI is getting used all the time. I used AI today. I use AI in my business almost every single day, mainly because I write really harsh emails, and I have trained an AI program that I would just call Howard, and I will say, Howard this, and I will copy the email in, and then AI will write something back like, your tone could be considered direct. Have you thought about using words like? And so I'll change. I don't copy and paste the email straight from AI, because if I do that, it's going to have AI mistakes. But I'll sit there and go, okay, maybe that is a better choice of words. Maybe instead of I will kill you, I should say something like progressive discipline could follow. Things like that. So, you know, I use that all the time. You know, and today I was sitting at lunch and I don't know what possessed me, but I had Microsoft's one open Copilot on my desktop, and I just said, what's stopping you from killing all of humanity? And it gave me an example of why its programming doesn't allow it to like kill all of humanity. To which I responded, but I've seen the Terminator. I know how this goes. And I shit you not, AI gave me a 3-page long explanation why it could not become Skynet. Talking about how Skynet became self-aware and developed fear of humanity, how Skynet had access to weaponry and it doesn't have access to weaponry. And that just said to me, some other asshole has asked AI this, because it was like instantaneous that it came up with, listen, I'm going to put your mind at ease, Howard. This is why you're never going to live in the Terminator. And I was just like, I was scared to death. I was more scared after it explained itself to me than I was when I typed it in. So, but it's here. AI is here. That's why I also don't see, you see this a lot too on Steam. People get angry, and and Steam is now requiring developers to mark if AI was used in the development of its game, because there are some AI slop games out there. But just using AI in some portion of your game doesn't automatically make it bad. If you use AI to write an entire game, I can understand that. I can understand people being like, no, this is stupid. But if you use generative AI to just make sure a color blends in, or to make sure that there's no errors in the code, is that such a bad thing?
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing. Like, AI is a major part of coding now. There's no way around it. Like, you're not gonna find people that are coding with pretty much without AI anymore. Like, it just makes life so much easier to just have the machine write it all and double check all your work and make sure you don't forget any, semicolons and stuff that screw up everything, or under, double check like the scope of what you're working on to make sure it doesn't affect someone else's work. All that stuff. Like, AI is part of coding. Like, I don't think AI and coding are ever going to be separate ever again. So, like, expecting things to be done without AI, I think they're more concerned about like AI artwork and all that stuff, which is has to tends to be more original
Mm-hmm.
than just generic code, because artwork is definitely something that people complain a lot about when it comes to AI.
Yes.
Right. So I think that's more of it. But like I saw all the stuff about opting out of the AI. I haven't opted out of the AI. I'm like, take this data. If this allows Twitch to, be viable for, a few more
Mm-hmm.
extra years, and it doesn't cause it to get shut down because they're hemorrhaging too much money for Amazon, I'm like, fine. Take this information. I'm like, I don't care. You can make fun of me. You can clone me, make me even more famous than I am.
Right.
Do all that fun stuff.
Listen. AI Howard is going to be 10 times more entertaining than regular Howard is when he comes about. It'll be
Exactly.
fine. And by the time they do that, it'll be seamless. You won't even know it's not me. It'll be seamless.
Let's see. Last bit of news is this is way more magic oriented, since we've been talking
Okay.
about magic.
Do it.
A magic personality, former NFL player Cassius Marsh, and you probably don't know him. He was like a backup defensive end for like the Seahawks, and then went to go play in a few other places. He's a
Okay.
big magic content creator now, has like a
Oh,
few stores
nice.
and stuff. So he put out this bounty for a card from The Hobbit. It was the gold version of Smog. Um,
Okay.
and someone took it up on his bounty, um, and then shit kind of hit the fan. So the person's like, "Okay, I'll fly out to send this card to you." Like, he's offering like 20K on it. The guy's like, "Okay, I'll pack up and like fly out the next day." So like on his flight there, Cassius was like, "Oh, okay, I'll give you 15K for the car." Although the bounty was they originally said was 20K. All right, and then he's like didn't have time to meet up with him and stuff. He kind of he like ended up like cursing at the guy and blocking the guy before he even got there. And
Really?
and then so the guy went home, went on to Reddit, posted about the whole incident. Supposedly not like the first sort of time that Cassius has done sort of like bad faith dealings in the past. And he put up a TikTok about his response, which I thought was very interesting. Well, one, he says that there was a communication mistake, and then he kind of tried to make the guy whole for communication mistake. So that is a very good thing. Like, he supposedly Venmoed the guy 4K for his travel expenses and all that after talking to him. But what I also did was complain about how all the magic nerds were coming after him because he's rich, and how all the people all the nerds that go on the internet and onto Reddit, like to attack people and all that stuff. I was like, like, he was kind of attacking the core audience of his, being that they're all like magic players, and it felt like a very harsh response, um, of how he referred to them. I thought it was pretty bad, even though he fessed up to making a mistake and there's confusion between the people, right? But it's just like, this is such a weird way to like respond to the situation. Like, the way he responded would just like seem so wrong. And I was just like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right. Right. That's my take on it too. Like,
Yeah,
you can't put a bounty out there and then say, "Oh yeah, by the way, I've changed my mind now that you're
yeah,
halfway out here." You
exactly.
can't do it. That you got to be careful with what you say on your stream, what you offer your audience. You
Yeah,
know, but yeah, and then to respond to that, like, no one, no one. Well, that's I'm going to say this, and then somebody in our chat is going to point me out for being wrong. So by all means, but nobody slams their audience like that. Like, think about like a pro athlete. Nobody goes up there and goes, "How happy to be a Chief." Oh, I can't stand the fucking Chiefs. I can't wait for them to either trade or cut me. I got here and my locker room is shit. So yeah, I'm gonna go out there and play as minimal as I can until I get sent somewhere else. Nobody does that.
yeah.
Nobody does that. And I'm sure somebody has it. Somebody's gonna remind me of it in chat. Go ahead, chat. Remind me of somebody who's talked their way out. I mean, there was I think was it Eric Peters who famously threw his socks into the Kansas City crowd because he was so angry at getting thrown out of a game. And they traded him the next week. And he was like, yeah, I knew that was going to get me traded. So, okay, fantastic. Do that. But, you know, I don't flame your audience unless that's your brand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's people out there who just like, you know, abuse their audience as part of their brand. But no, that's not really how Magic players roll in my experience.
Yeah, like insulting them and insulting nerds in general when like a lot of
You're a nerd.
Magic players are nerds. You know, it seems like, you know, a very bad thing to do. Just and like the way the situation sounded, even though like he kind of made amends and admitted to making a mistake, like his initial reaction to it and like blocking the guy and all that sort of stuff just looks like bad on him as a person. He probably got like PR'd into like, okay, he shouldn't fix this, you know, by the company that he owns or like people at his company and all that stuff. He's like, okay, you gotta fix this. It's bad PR, man. You gotta fix this. Okay, yeah, let's come on.
Can you imagine being a PR person just in general, just generally speaking?
Yeah.
Where your entire life is, oh, we gotta look good for the public, and then waiting for that time that this guy just fucks everything up. That's literally your entire life is, look, everything at my company is great, and then just waiting for the shit show. I couldn't do it. I would spend every night smoking an entire pack of cigarettes waiting for someone to do something stupid that I would have to respond to. You know, and I work in HR. And HR and risk management. I sit at my desk and wait for somebody to do something stupid and then have to deal with it. But to be forward facing to the public in doing it, I can't imagine. I don't understand how people do it. How?
I mean, it's a job, you know. Like they're probably just used to communicating with people that they know people are gonna fuck up, you know, and they're just like the guys that are on call for when these situations occur. Like they're probably also in charge of like putting out helping them with like statements and whatever they do as well, more than just just like handling the fires. But they're also out there like helping to putting out the message that, you know, they wish to communicate with the public every day. But yeah, I think in general, it's kind of shitty. That, you know, that sort of job must be like hard on the soul. You're just kind of waiting for.
That's what I mean. I sit and I know I'll say this really briefly because I know Alpha loves when I talk about politics, but you see the statements that come out in politics these days, and you got to think there's some guy in the background in PR who was like, that is not what I told you to say, motherfucker. And now I'm going to be working 16 hours nonstop cleaning up your stupid shit. CEOs, politicians, all these people that get media attention. There's somebody in the background just waiting for it to happen. And I can't imagine a job where I would have to work like that.
Did you ever watch the show The West Wing?
No, I never got into The West Wing. I knew a lot of people who liked it though.
Yeah. So like when you're talking about that, like literally like you like someone would fuck up and you see like the whole office going around like writing statements and trying to cover it up and all that stuff. Just like, oh yeah, I know exactly what I was talking about.
Like I'm trying to think of a really, you know what? Here's a political / CEO example. The My Pillow guy, Mike Lindell, who ran My Pillow, got into politics, made a lot of statements, eventually ended up leaving the company. But can you imagine when this guy was getting really, really openly political and talking to press outlets and he held a symposium over political stuff, all this stuff. The PR guy in the background has just got to be sitting there sweating bullets every time he steps into the limelight. He's got to be, because these guys have no filter, and a lot of them just won't listen to PR. You know, there's a lot of people say, okay, so how do we say this? Well, we're going to put out a statement. We're going to say blah, 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 blah. When you go on camera, you're going to repeat blah, 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 blah. And they go, right. And then they walk out there and say something completely stupid. And the PR person has got to be like, give me a gun. I'm going to shoot him in the head. This is not what we discussed doing. So I can't imagine having to do that job. I can't. And I've worked with PR people. I've had to be a part of like releases and things like that in my business where we've actually gone to the press with stuff. Nothing terrible, but like one time I was a manager of a program that won an award, and the PR person was like, we're going to do a press release. And I was like, okay, tell me about this award. Tell me what kind of quote you want. And I gave them all that information. They did a wonderful job. But I can't imagine having to do that for people who just that don't have that filter.
I mean, you know that going into the job, though, so you're aware. It's not like, oh, you got hired by this political guy who you always see fuck you up, but you're like, oh yeah, I could change him. I know it. He just needs my direction, and right, like there's obviously going to be a few people that are so egotistical that think they can change him, but a lot of the times they're like, okay, I know this guy's a fuck up. I'm going to have to do a lot of work after every thing, right? But the money pays really good. It's going to look good on the resume. So it'll be a good stepping stone to a job where I'll be happier later. You know, they understand that going in, and they accept the risks of having to work with someone that's just a total psycho. You know, when it comes to that stuff.
And the book deal, guys. You work for a psycho. The book deal writes itself. Just hang on as long as you can for the ride. Keep your notes, and the book deal is there. Whether it's somebody in politics or a crazy CEO or even somebody in sports, you get stuck to it. Like, think of all the people. Like, can you imagine it being the PR person for Antonio Brown? Like, how? How do you not wake up in the middle of the night screaming on a regular basis? Guys like him, Terrell Owens. Remember when Terrell Owens was doing workouts in his driveway? Yeah. Some PR person was like, all right, or was completely disregarded. Either way, that PR person is going to be like, this is a shit show, man.
I mean, imagine being like the PR person for like the Raiders in like the 80s and 90s. Like, someone else got arrested today. Okay, let's go figure out how we're going to spin this to make... He goes, oh yeah, he was so sorry. Henry Ruggs was sorry that he accidentally killed someone with his car while driving 110 miles per hour down the highway. You know, he is so sorry. He hopes he never does it again. And when he comes out to play this week for the Raiders, he's gonna make sure he dedicates it to the person that he murdered. Like, imagine being that guy having to try to spin all the stuff back.
Right. I look to, you know, we're talking about good examples of like people who have had needed. Rashee Rice and the Chiefs. Yeah. How this has not been a bigger story that this dude, like, so he went racing in his car and caused an accident, fled the scene, went through the court system and got on probation, then failed a drug test on probation. And no one talks about it in Chiefs Nation. It's just something that, okay, that happened. All right. You mean that happened? He incited property damage, avoided responsibility, and then when they gave him a second chance, he went out and smoked his way out of it. How is that not a conversation?
I think the weed smoking thing, it's like a lot of people don't really care as much about that as like a violation.
Oh yeah,
they're just like, okay, well, they're just trying to get after him because he's famous or something, you know. But like, yeah, the accident was pretty bad, but at least on a positive note, he turned himself in afterwards. Right?
And get PR. That's PR.
Right? But at least he turned himself in the next day. Huh?
What do I do, coach? You see this guy over here? This is Jimmy. Jimmy's our PR guy. You're going to do everything Jimmy tells you to fucking do. And Jimmy's telling you to go turn yourself in. He's going to walk down there with you, make sure you do this right. Yeah. I can't. I don't even know how I got on this sidetrack, but I can't imagine being in PR. It's there's so much crazy in the world.
Yeah, there's tons of crazy in the world. That's kind of all we have this week. Kind of a lighter week, except for people complaining about AI and YouTube. But not a lot of topics in general. Not a lot of random drama, which I know Howard is sad for because he loves the random drama.
No, I am so glad.
No,
he's still suspended.
Oh yeah, no.
He comes back in like 2 days.
Does he come back in 2 days? All right, I know you're ready and waiting. You're like, yes. My boy Asbigol is coming back. Content for the podcast.
Honestly, I'm just excited because that means people will stop commenting on the Instagram that we've talked about him last week because I'll have something to do. It was 2 guys for like a total of like 27 comments would be going back and forth with them. Yeah. So yeah, but I'm not, as much as people, I come on here and I rage about drama, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not a drama guy. I think why I rage about it is because it's so stupid that this is where we are, and I blame and credit Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Because 40 years ago, that was his shtick. What can I get people to either complain about or want to see? Those two things. They want it. There was have you ever seen the movie Private Parts?
Yes, I have.
There's that great scene in it where they come in and they have to tell the programming director his numbers are up. And people are like, how is his numbers up? Well, half the people are tuning in because they want to see what he does next. And the other people hate him and want to see what he does next. And I get it. It's the modern shock jock, but I don't want to deal with it. I'd rather talk about upcoming games. TCG Simulator.
Oh.
TCG Shop Simulator is getting its full release next month.
Oh, I saw a game that I thought of you when I was looking at.
Ooh, what do you got?
I saw Emergency Room Simulator.
Oh God!
I can't wait to see Howard try to resuscitate somebody. He's like, "Oh, you placed the panels in the wrong spot." He's like frying his head or something.
There was, and I forgive me, I cannot remember the name of it, but back in the DOS days, there was a game where you had to work in a hospital, and it was so basic that people only came in with like 5 different illnesses. And I was doing really, really well, like 3 days in and everything. And then somebody came in with the most severe and it's like, you need to do surgery. And I'm like, okay. And a little tutorial box pops up and goes, please look at your instruction booklet for the proper controls for surgery. I'd lost a construction booklet like weeks ago. So now I literally have this video game guy on a table. I got to like do something to his kidney or something. And I have no clue what I'm doing. So it was like one of those things they used to do. Remember when they used to do that? They put things into like the instruction manual before you can play. Enter the third word on page 3 as a way to stop you from making copies.
Yeah,
it was that. It was they did it that way. Oh God, that poor guy died on the table, and I never played that game again. I was so traumatized. So I think I might avoid the emergency room game.
I actually have a kind of funny story since we're talking about my Instagram and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So this last week I posted some Instagrams from the interview with Almon Green from last week, and one of them was talking about his Parkinson's, and the Instagram was called like, since my diagnosis with Parkinson's, I got a lot of support or something, talking about how Almon came out about Parkinson's. I've had multiple people messaging me because they didn't actually click the video and asking if I was diagnosed with Parkinson's. Because they didn't actually click the video. They're like, "Oh man, I saw the video. I saw your thing. Are you okay? Are you diagnosed?" I'm like, "No." I was talking to someone that they're like, "Oh, I didn't actually watch the video." I'm like, "Watch the goddamn video then."
It's a short. So let's tell this story because Terry yelled at me earlier this week too. I saw the short where he asked the stupid quarterback question I'd come up with. And if you haven't seen it yet, Almon Green is the only player in the NFL who played on the same roster as Warren Moon, Aaron Rodgers, and Brett Favre. He was a rookie in Warren Moon's last year. So I said, Terry, you got to point that out to him and ask him who was the best quarterback you ever played with and why is it Matt Hasselbeck?
Yeah.
So Terry asked the question because I was exhausted last week. I literally plopped down on the couch. I picked up my phone and Terry was like, "Are you still around? Almon is live." And I was like, "I can't do it, bro." I'm like barely awake on the couch. So Terry asks the question. So I see the video and I'm like, "Oh my God, Terry, you asked my question." And Terry goes, "You're just seeing this now? Does that mean you didn't watch the Almon Green interview from last week? You waited for the short?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, he caught me. He caught me. I didn't have time to watch. I didn't watch the whole episode. I just get caught up on the shorts. But at least I clicked on the short first."
Yeah, because my friend was like, "Oh, this other friend asked me about it." I was like, so I guess neither one of you are able to actually click the goddamn video. I go, like and comment. Come on, I got to click the thumbs up button and stuff.
Push the buttons. We need like 4,000 subscribers just to make a nickel off of YouTube. You gotta push the frickin' buttons.
Exactly.
Just push the goddamn buttons. It costs you nothing. It makes us virtually nothing too, but that's not the point. Just push the goddamn buttons.
Yeah, so I thought it was pretty funny because, like, I think I had two people messaging me. Like, so one of them, it was excusable because when I uploaded the link to Twitter, it didn't, for some reason, the video didn't populate for it. So it just has my talking about my diagnosis with Parkinson's. I didn't have the link to the video. It didn't work properly. So I go, oh shit, yeah, that one explains. So when someone else mentions me, go, oh shit, did not post there either. Then look at it and go, wait, this did post. This dumbass just didn't click the video. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, oh, okay, never mind. He's like, you dumbass, you gotta make sure you gotta correct that thing. It's up right now. And I go look at it. I'm like, no, sir. You are the dumbass. You didn't click the link.
Click, open and it's a short, guys. It's a minute and a half. It's less than a minute. It's a minute to and a half. Just click the god. They're so worried that they'll reach out to you, but not so worried that they'll click start on that video.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, why is it of Terry's photo with some other person in it? It couldn't possibly. It must be him. He must be talking to his doctor.
That's it. I'm on Greet Your Doctor.
Yeah. Oh, that was funny. Okay. Let's call it here. Not a lot else to talk about this week in general. We'll call it a little short. So Howard can go get some rest. He's probably still tired from his long day of arguing about the car and all that stuff. So we will call it there. Thank everyone for watching. Push the buttons, as we said, like, comment, subscribe, do all those sort of things. And we will see you guys all next week. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.